Hi guys, this video is about HTML forms and I try to cover all the topics in form section of HTML. So now first of all we have to set up our form. So we should go in body, just open form tag, that's all. It is your first thing to do, that's all. In this form tag we have to do all the things, and the most used element or a command in this is input tag, that's all. So we have to set up form. In form we have to set up our backend language, mean to say if you know about PHP language where we submit our form, so you have to tell HTML how to submit form in PHP language, but I will just give you a hint or an introduction about PHP so you can understand. If you saw some other code you will now get it that how this code works. So first of all we need a action. What is action? Action means we have to tell them that where you should put the form. And how we set up this? In action we will just give them a random location where our PHP server is located. So I will tell them that 101 page dot php, that's all. It is just a random name. I don't set any library or any destination, any folder about it. It's just a random name. If you have a something like folder or name, you can just name it and the location, and the slash bar represent that this is a directory, that's all. So when I teach you PHP language I will tell you about it, but it is just a introduction or a glimpse of a PHP language. So now we set up a target. Target means how we will approach it, mean to say that target will set up and tell the window that you should open a new window or you should submit the form and go to the parent window, etc, etc. So I will set it blank. Blank means open a new window. Okay guys, now we set our method, or in method, okay, in method we will, there are two types of method, mean to say get method and post method. Get method will mostly used for unsecured data. It has a maximum length on 2048 and the data will be sent on URLs. Yani it's mean to say that anyone have access of your data. But post method is most secure method because it is sent on a transaction base and the data limit is unlimited. So you can use post method. Always use post method, never use get method until you give them a data and publicly, mean to say that whenever you use IDM downloader it will take get method to download videos and thing. Mean to say download purposes you can use get method, but if you have a secure data just like your username or password, always use post method. Okay, just remember that. And the most famous one is autocomplete. Auto, I think so it will show me autocomplete. No, autocomplete will automatically complete your form. What I'm trying to say, just set it on. So when you create, whenever you go to visit some website, you put your name, ID, phone number, then the browser have your cache memory. Then whenever you try to fill another form like that, it will autocomplete it if you have opened that option on it. If you don't, they will not autocomplete it. Okay, so beware about it. Put it on off. By the way, default is off, so you don't need to add that element, but if you want to on it, just go ahead and on it. Now we will go our first form, how to create a form. So first of all we need a label. Why we use label are mainly used for PHP. It is not for display, it is for PHP. Label will tell PHP that what thing you have in it and where you put it. Mean to say if you said first name, label will tell him that it is first name. So the directory or a PHP directory or our database will sort that data according to the names. Okay, so first of all we have PHP, or mean to say label. BR tag will represent new line. As you can see, I will name it first name, so the first name displayed here. BR tag will jump that name from here to lower mean to say underneath it. Now our first tag, input. In input we must declare the type, and the type would be text and id. In id is always same as label name, mean to say first name, and name should be also be first name. Now you understand why I put a label. Label will help it input type to identify it, so it cannot conflict each other, and database and your form will be remain intact. So first name, last mean to say name, id and type. These are the most three important thing you have to know. Okay, now put it another br tag, so it will go for a new line. Now we know about how to put a field. What other things we have to know? First name or last name. So I should also add it another label, name it 4, and last name, oh sorry to say that the tag should be closed, and where I have to write last name, and go for type, mean to say input, tell him which type of data you have put in. So in input tag, type, the data should also be text because we need text. We need id, last name, and we need our name, and we should also be last name and tag close. That's all. Now you can see that it is not look very good, so we have put a br tag here, and also put a br tag, mean to say line break tag here. So here is our first form. Now you should know about buttons. There are different types of button, checkboxes, and etc. We will cover all of these. Now start with our most used button is radio button. So what is radio button? First of all, I have to write it radio button, how to use it, so you can understand it. I will turn it into comment. So now we have to use our first radio button, and how can we use it? Just simple. You have to label it first if you need it, but if you don't need it, just go ahead. But I think I should label it first, or you should proceed without label it. Let's see what happened. So I have input. Now I will tell him about type, and the type should be, they don't show it, so I write it down, radio. And now what is it, the other things? The other things would be id, and we don't know about id, so I write it html. And what are the other things we have to write it? html, and the name should also be html. And no, and what we have to add, we should add value or not, it's on you. That's all. So should we go around and go down? Yeah, why not? But if we add some, I think so we should name it a language, because it will accommodate us in future. Let's see what happened. Nothing sure. So we have to label it. Okay, we have to label it. In label, as you know, in 4 we id, and the label should be same as I mentioned earlier. So our id and label should be html. Now what can we do? Just press it, html. Now you can see why I put it later, because if I put that label in front of it, it will go ahead and the point will be go there. It is on you. You should put label forward or backward according to your need. Okay, now I put label in it. I should put a br tag so it look like beautiful. Now we should go down and write input type, and in this input type I will also set the name. But what is the changes? So I think I should do that so you can understand it more accurately. Input type, And input type I need to put radio button. In radio button I need to put ID. In ID, the what would be the name? The name should be what you want to show there, but first of all you need to put a little bit of name. So the name should be, I think so, CSS, because we are comparing languages, and the name here should be language. That would be same. Why would be same? I will show you later. But now we have to go for a label as for CSS. Name should be same. Label close CSS. Now you have a better understanding what I am trying to do. Now we put the third option, input type radio. In radio we put ID. In ID we put our design name, which should be Java. After that we should put a name and input language tag clause. Now wait a minute, we should not put a BR tag for our beautiful thing. Now we should go down, we should put a label. In label we should put for. In for we have a same name, mean to say Java. After that tag closed and write it Java. Okay guys, so here are our radio button use. Now you can select any one of these, not all of them, any one of these, and you could put a submit button. So when you click submit, the data will be sent to your server. So how to put a submit button? Just add input submit button, that's all. It is not a big deal. Okay, I will add it another process. Now we know about checkbox button. I will tell you about checkbox button. Checkbox button. After that we have to comment it down. Now how checkbox button work like same, just like you put other things. First of all you have to put input type and just click checkbox. Button is some simple thing, but checkbox is most, because button is simple, a button you just click it, that's all. I will also make the button, but first of all I will have to introduce the most important thing, which is mostly used in HTML, so it will not confuse you. Type checkbox. ID would be, as I mentioned earlier, you can also mention this ID in label, so be careful when you write it. And name, it's on you. You should name it by a category. I name it cars with a capital or small. You can name it same, it's on you, because all these ID name are a backend thing, so it should not conflict in backend, but when I will teach you backend you will better understanding of it. But right now you have to understand it, how to display it, that's all. Okay, I name it cars, and let's go for our other thing. I would also name it something else, just like above. I would should name it I think so I should name it Honda. And right now I should also name it Honda. And I try to make a car selection checkbox, that's all. Honda, here it will display Honda. Now a BR tag will introduce a new line, and also input, again type, again checkbox, again ID, oh sorry to say ID. In ID I name Honda and Audi. Name it cars, tag close, label it. Okay, in label you should put Audi, tag close, Audi in checkbox, and just BR tag, that's all. So when I have to select it, okay, checkbox activated. Okay guys, what are the other things you want to learn after checkbox? Should I tell you about submit button? No. So I will teach you how to. Submit is a very simple thing. You just need a input type. They ask you about type, just type submit. That's all. If you want to show some value on it, it's on you. Mean to say, I should show a value like submit 101. It will show submit 101 and just close it with a br tag. So that's all. Submit button, when you click it, it will submit the data into backend or a server. So after submit, we will use select. So just like a drop down or a select, but I will prefer it to select. So how will select look like? Okay guys, first of all we write it select, so it is easy for you. When you select, how to use it. Okay, first of all we need a label so we can use it, because you can add a label after it or before it, it's on you. Okay, so it is mean to say that HTML is just a structural language, so it can make a structure, but CSS, as you know, CSS make it beautiful. It look like not a good, but if I apply a CSS on it, it will look very beautiful. So look for cars. As I mentioned earlier, I love cars. Choose a car from options. Okay, as we write it, choose a car from option. Should I put a BR tag or not? I think I should put a BR tag, it will look great. Okay, now we use a select command. How can we use the select? Just write it selection, or I think to select. Select, go down. In select we need an attribute which can identify how to select it. So I need an ID, mean to say unique ID. As I mentioned earlier, these must be same. Just remember, for an ID must be same. Name, it's on you. If you want to change it, it's on you. It's okay if you want to name it same or change, it's on you. It will not conflict right now, but when you use backend, yes, it's going to conflict, but you understand it. Option, value, what value should be show there? So I think so first one would be Volvo. As you can see, it is a good car, so we write it Volvo. As you know, it will show into like that. Okay guys, we have a Volvo. Option close. Now we use another option, and this time we write it SAP. Yeah, it is not a very good card, but it is conventional. You can use that card. Okay, as you can see, it's SAP, and I have to add one more option so you can understand it better. Value, and write it Honda. Honda. Okay, now we have set up it all. Now let's see what we create. A drop down menu. Okay, as many as you want, it's on you. So you can also add a submit button, so it will easily reach. Now what we add now, I think so we add a BR tag here, so it will not conflict our interest. So what would we use now? We have to, I think so, text area. That is the text area. How to use, and comment it out. Let's go and check how to use text area. Just write text area, close it. The text area have been showed. Now what changes we need in text area? Obviously in text area you should go into attribute, mean to say in first tag, just what you want to write there, nothing, just name it, and I should name it message, mean to say I will use it as a message. Okay, after name you will mention rows and columns, it's on you. I will say it should have a rows 10 and columns should be 30 according to your need. It will increase its size. Okay, when you done this, just write here and write it right. As you can see, comments here, is it good or not? And when you write it, just put a BR tag and a submit button. Look it more beautiful. As you can see here, you can do 1 to 3 times, it will automatically increase. Okay, now which element you want to learn next, I will think about it. Should we use button tag or anything else, or we should go for, I think so I will teach you how to use button tag. What would you say? Okay, now we will field set. We will go with field set. It is very most generally used command. Field set. Oh no, it's not, I meant to set, I just wanted to simply okay guys, field set. And how we use field set? First of all, we need to set field. Okay, it will set a field, tag down. Now in field set we use many things like legends and etc, but I will start with a legend. Okay, what will legend do? Legend do legendary things, mean to say in legend you just write it in formation. As you can see, information will be shown there, and after that we need put some label and input, mean to say if you want to put a text area, it's on you. So as we know how to put label for, and in for we need first name, the most simple use command. First name, just close it, write it first name. As you can see, it will show the first name. Label it, BR it, oh sorry, not a BE command, just be a BR tag, that's all. Okay, we put a BR tag right behind it, and we need a input so we can collect data. Type text ID should be first name, and name should be also, okay, they will not show it, first name, and that's it. As you can see, we can set a field. In this field you can set anything, so the field will provide you a border around it and give it a information, okay, according to your need. As I always mention, it is always according to your need. You can do things in a multiple way. After field set, I will teach you how to use data list or a drop down list, and it is very interesting. So how can you use a data list or a drop down list? Just input list, that's all. What I mean to say, input type list. Is it not sure? Yes, because you can use an input command, but you did not use type, you use list. In list you should use anyone you want to drop down. I wish like to put browsers. You can choose a browser between them. So I will write it browsers. After that, just go down and choose a data list. In a data list, they will ask you about which type of data you want to list it. So first of all, create a tag. Go down. Wait a minute, I have to set it according to your need so you can easily. Okay, data list. In data list, first of all you set ID because it is unique data, so you need a ID. In ID you tell them that you have a data from browsers. Okay, now you have set options. As you can, we use option tag very well. In value you should write it Opera and also write it Opera. Okay, now go down, use another option tag. Value should be Firefox and write it Firefox. Okay guys, now check it will take effect or not. No, I think so it will not properly show here, so we should open it in our browser. As you can see, Opera, Firefox, and this will show 2 times Opera, so we have to correct it. And how we correct it? We will have to correct it, and how we can correct it, I will tell you. Just wait a minute. Just go there and correct it like value, that's all. Does not mention anything like that. Mean to say, if I have to remove it, I have to remove both of it, so it will not disturb our data. Yes, control save. Now we have to see in our browser Opera and Firefox. Okay, now we have to go back, and what will be our other command? And other command should be, I think so, after data list I will teach you how to use most important input types. It would be username, password, well, password or value input and size input, etc, etc, but mostly 3 to 4 mainly. As I can mention, we use almost all the elements used in HTML, but I will teach you the most famous ones also. So first of all we have to go for new element, and which is PR tag. Okay guys, and I will teach you how to use input most use. First of all we used password. So what will it do? Okay, first of all we need a label in which we tell him that we are using password. So we will pwd for short, and just write it down like that and just read it password. It will not show your, mean to say, the password will not show what are you typing in it. So in password, after that we have to put input where we get our data, and the type should be, let me guess, password or text. It is password, not a text. Okay, just remember it. And input type should be password. All the things remain same. ID would be pwd and name should be also pwd. That's all. Close the tag. And what would it will happen? Yes, I can write password. Okay, after that I will use br tag for our next, and the most famous one is value input. Mean to say, if you want to put an initial value in a form or in a blank, it's on you. You can use a value command for it. And how can you do that? Just like as I mentioned, first name, I will also take that, mean to say same like it, label for first name, tag closed, write it first name, just go down, input, type text, id should be first name, and after that name should also be first name. Okay, sorry for that. And all, now the value anything you want to show there, I will set it right. As you can see, it will automatically write there, and just close it. Okay. Oh, I should put a br tag there. I should put two br tags. Okay. And what are other things to use? And the other thing should be a sizable command, I think so, that is good for it. Or we should use for our autofocus, so you can set size according to need, but the most common one is placeholder and autofocus, so we will go for a placeholder. First of all, I write it place holder and comment it down, so anyone you want understand it. So as you know, you should always use label first, label 4, and we use it, I think so, phone number. And what would I write here? I say enter your number, enter your number. Okay, now input should be like type, and it should tell me a telephone number, id as you know, phone, name as you know should also be phone. Here it is. Oh, here it is. But I have missing one thing. And what is the thing? The placeholder. Now you write it placeholder, and now you tell him how to write your number. I say 456 123 789. So it will not show that number, but it will tell him that you should write your number like that. That is known as placeholder, and I think so you all know how to use it now. br tag will show a new line, and the last one is autofocus. Autofocus means that if someone open your form, it will directly focus on that, mean to say the mouse cursor automatically start blinking on the first blank of the form or first element of the form. So how can we use that? As usual, label. In label I will go for a new one, job, and write it job title. Okay, and we go down, and here we put input, and in this input we need a type, which also should be a text. After that we need a id, which should be job, and also that we need some, I think so, other job. Okay, now here is the key part. You need to write it here, auto focus. That's all. Just a br tag, as I remember, and it will show autofocus. It will not show here. We should open it in a browser. As you can see, all are not highlighted, but this job title tag is highlighted and start blinking. Hope you understand it. Okay, anything else? Not anything else. So these are the all HTML element we can use in form, and these are the most famous one. You can find another element also, but these are the most famous one. Hope you like it, and if you want to ask something, just comment it. Thank you.